Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Kosi, and in today's video I will be sharing with you guys on how to make this beautiful dress. Alright, so my last tutorial I already shared the freehand cutting, and if you're yet to see that, I'll leave a link in the description box so you go ahead and check it out. So if you're interested to learn how I make this, keep on watching and let's get started. Please don't forget to subscribe so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. So guys, let's get into it. So like I said guys, in my last tutorial I already shared the cutting. It was a freehand cutting. Alright, so if you're yet to see that, please go ahead and watch the cutting part. After watching, you can come here and join us in the making or in the sewing of this dress. All right, so this is the sleeve that I cut in the last tutorial, and this is the organza. I told you guys that I was going to iron this organza in my last tutorial because there was no light. After they brought light, I ironed it out, and you can see how relaxed everything looks. And again, this is the lining for the down part. I also told you guys that I was going to cut out the lining in an extra, but unfortunately I did this out of camera for the sake of time. All right, I cut this out of camera for the sake of time, so I'll just share with you guys what I did here. So you can see the lining and the main fabric is not of the same length. All right, and remember I added 2 inches when cutting out the down part. I added 2 inches for the sewing allowance. So right here, the lining I removed 1.5 inch. All right, so I'll use the half inch remaining to join the lining. I'll use half inch remaining to join the lining. So after joining it, I'll have just 1.5. Okay, and I also did the same thing on the back. Okay, so this is the upper part. This is the upper part for the front and the back. You can see for the wording I ironed it out as well. You can see it stick together with the fabric. This is because I made use of the kind of wording that has shine at the back. All right, this one has gone at the back. It has gum at the back. As you can see, that is not removing, so I just had iron them out just like this. You can see it's not removing, and again I gave space at the upper part. You can see, so it's very important you go ahead and watch the cutting tutorials, okay, so you understand what I'm doing here. It is very very important you go ahead and watch the sewing part, sorry, the cutting part. After watching, you can come here and join us so you understand everything that I'm saying here. Okay, so this for the back upper part. All right, you can see that I cut out the lining, so we are going to start the sewing. We start from the sewing of the down part of the gown. You can see, so right now go ahead and open it up. All right, then place your lining the right side facing each other like this. All right, so make sure everything are well placed. Can you see, you arrange everything very properly? So when you arrange everything, you can notice we have shortage at the down part of the lining. Okay, so now what you will do now is to drag it down. All right, you have to drag it down, make sure they are very equal at the down part. Then go ahead and sew with half an inch. Okay, go ahead and sew with half an inch. After sewing, you drag it up, drag your lining up to the upper part like this. Okay, so after that, you go ahead and sew the side. So when you sew the side, to give it that turn up effect that you're seeing at the down part. Okay, same thing applies to this side. You do the same thing on this other side as well. When you do that, it will give you the turn up effect at this other side. Okay, so I also do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I'll do the same thing for the other side, that is the back. So guys, after sewing, you can see what I have here. So I'll just turn it to the wrong side. So this is the turn up effect I had at the down part. Can you see? So this is how it looks. Can you see? This is the other side for the front. Okay, so I also, after turning it out to the right side, I also stitch the upper side. Okay, I made a top stitch at the upper side, so I'll just remove this in place, then I'll work on the back upper part. Okay, so this is the back upper part. What I will do is to open it up like this. You place the lining the right side facing each other. Okay, make sure everything are well arranged. All right, place the lining the right side facing each other like this. Okay, so after that, you're going to go ahead and sew. So you're going to sew from that side to this other end. You sew to the other end as well. You do the same thing here. Look at what I'm doing here. You go ahead and sew both side, the armhole and the neckline. So after sewing everything, guys, you can see what I have here. I also made notches on the neckline. Okay, after sewing, make your notches on your neckline. All right, so it will relax at the time you turn it over. So I'll just go ahead and turn it over to the right side. I'll turn it over to the right side like this. Do the same thing for the other one. After bringing everything out, I'll stitch down this side later. Okay, so now I'll work on the front upper part. So this is the front. So you can see this is the padding side. So you're going to join the both side like this. Okay, you do the same thing for the lining as well. So I've gone ahead to stitch this down side of the back part, and I also use my scissors to bring all these edges out before stitching. Can you see? So this is the front upper part. I already gone ahead to join the lining. So at the time I was filming this tutorial, there was no light, so that was why I didn't iron the seam opening. So if you're making yours and you have light at the moment, go ahead and iron your seam opening. If you have been following my tutorials or my channel, you will notice I always iron my seam opening anytime I'm making a pattern like this. All right, so go ahead and do yours as well. So after I was done with that, you can see the lining here. I did the same thing for the lining as well. So what I'll do here is just to place the lining. I'll just place them like this, right side facing each other. You go ahead and make sure everything are well placed. Now we are going to go ahead and sew. Okay, so you go ahead and sew the both side, then you sew your neckline, even the armhole, you sew everything. All right, so after I was done sewing, I also made notches on the neckline side. Can you see? Make your notches on the neckline side, so it's going to relax as time you turn it over to the right side. So I'll go ahead and turn it out. All right, I'll turn it out to the right side. I'll use my scissors to bring everything out later. So after I was done turning, you can see what I have here. So I'll head over to my sewing machine and I'll stitch on that end. Okay, so the down part, I already gone ahead to stitch it down. You can see how everything looks, and this is the back. Can you see how everything looks? All right, so now just keep it aside and I'll start joining the half length of the back part first. So this is the back and the down part. Can you see? So right now just go ahead and place the half length for the back, the right side facing each other. Then I'll head over to my sewing machine and I'll sew with half an inch. Okay, you can decide to make your darts separately before joining. For me, I want to join them together. After joining them, I will do the darts. All right, so I'll just go ahead and join with half an inch. So after I was done joining, guys, you can see what I have here. So I'll just remove one of the piece, then I'll go ahead and make my dart. So for the dart, remember when we were cutting this on last year, I removed 6.5 inches for the off shoulder. So right now I'll subtract the 6.5 inches exactly at that point. Then I'll come down by 9 inches. That is where the dart will start from. Okay, so after that I'll measure what I have here on the zip allowance, and I have 1 inch. All right, so I'll add the 1 inch plus the half of her nipple to nipple, and I have 4.5. Remember, her nipple to nipple was 7 inches, so divided by 2 will give me 3.5 plus the 1 inch for the for the zip allowance, and I marked 4.5. Okay, so from that joining part I'll come down by 6 inches. Okay, that is where the dart will stop. All right, the dart length is 6 inches on the down part, so I marked it, and I'll also go ahead and mark the 4.5 inches. So after connecting like this, I'll also do the same thing for the other back. All right, this is the other back. I will go ahead and do the same thing for this other side as well. Okay, you go ahead and mark. So after marking, I'll go ahead and sew the dart. All right, so it's either you do this separately and join, or you do them together like this. So this is it. I'll go ahead and do the dart. Okay, so for the dart, you head over to your sewing machine, you place them like this. Just place your piece like this on your sewing machine, then you go ahead and sew. So guys, after sewing, you can see what I have here. So this is how everything looks. Can you see? All right, the next thing I'll do is to place them the right side facing each other. I want to finish everything about the back before moving in for the front. Okay, so right now from the joining side, I'll come down by 8 inches. Then after that, I will mark 1 inch. Okay, I'll just go ahead and mark 1 inch straight, After marking, I want it to have open at the back. So for that, I will mark 6 inches for the opening. Okay, for the length opening, I'll mark 6 inches. All right, so I'll just head over and sew from here to this other end. Then this is the black zip. I'll go ahead and attach my zip. Okay, so guys, after attaching the zip here, after sewing the zip, you can see what I have here. Okay, so this is the opening at the back. You can see how everything looks. So this is how everything looks, guys. I'll just remove this and I'll work on the front part. Okay, this is the front piece. This is where the style and everything is at the front. Okay, so now this is the down part for the front. All right, so what I will do here is to go ahead and make my dart first. So to make my dart, because I already have the padding, I'll use that line at the padding side to make the dart. Okay, that line here, that line at the front of that upper part where I joined the both pad. I will make use of that line. I'll use that line there, just match them together with the down part. Then I'll head over to my sewing machine and make my dart. I'll stop at 6 inches. Okay, so now guys, you can see what I have here after I was done. So I've gone ahead to make my two darts, and you can see what I have here. So the next thing to do now is to go ahead and mark your body measurement. Your waist and hip measurement is what you are going to mark. Okay, you will mark your waist circumference divided by 2. All right, you mark it. After that, you come down on your hip. All right, the hip line of this dress is 9 inches. All right, remember the person is very tall, like I said in my last tutorial. So the hip line is 9 inches, so I came down by 9 inches. So from there, I will just divide her hip circumference by 2. Then I will mark. Okay, after marking, I will divide what I have left, then also mark as well. All right, so these marks will help me know where exactly to start the fixing of the ruffle at both side of the dress. Okay, so you're going to mark your body measurement, your hip and waist measurement. Okay, you mark it on the front side of the piece. Right here, I just marked the knee. The knee measurement is, her knee measurement is 19, and I marked it. Okay, it's not 19 divided by 2, just 19, like, I just divided it by 2 and I got 19 inches. Then I marked. Okay, so I also do the same thing on this other side. Can you see? You go ahead and mark your hip and waist circumference on the right side of your dress. Okay, so after marking, I'll go ahead and cut out the organza. So this is the organza. Like I said before, I ironed it out. They brought the light later and I ironed it out. Okay, so you can see how relaxed it is. So the length of the organza I have here is 37 inches. So I also measure the length of this one that I have, and I have 26 or 27 inches there. So what I will do, I want to have excess for the organza because of the pleats. All right, so I'll just trim off this rough edges. Okay, that rough side, I'll trim it off. Then I'll go ahead and mark 4 inches wideness because I'll be folding the both side of the organza later. So I mark the 4 inches. After folding, I'll have at least 3 inches. Okay, so you can see my organza is on a fold. All right, after marking this other side, I'll do the same thing here. Go ahead and mark out 4 inches. Okay, because you are going to fold the both side later. All right, so after that, I'll go ahead and cut it out just like this. Okay, so when I cut it out, I have two pieces, so I'll also slash this other one. This folded part, I'll slash it into two because I want to have a very long piece. So what I'll do here to have that long piece is to join them together like this. Okay, I'll head over straight to my sewing machine, then join it with 1/2 inch. Okay, after that, I will also fold both side. So guys, after joining, you can see what I have here. Okay, after joining, you trim it out a little bit. Okay, so you don't have too much seam at the at the middle part. Okay, so this is it, guys. Now what I'll do now is to bring one of the organza, then on the wrong side, on the right side of the organza, I'll just go ahead and place it on the side of the dress. Okay, so if you are placing this, you're going to give half an inch space. All right, you're not going to sew this exactly on the chalk line. You are not sewing this exactly on your chalk line. That point you marked your chalk, you're not going to sew exactly on that line. Okay, you're going to give it a half inch space. All right, you're going to give it a half inch space before sewing. Do you get? So right now what I'll do first is to place it like this, then I'll place my tape as well. I want to come down by, I'll pin it first, then I'll place my tape. At least the pleat will start exactly from 1 inch space. Okay, because I want to join it later. I'll be fixing the half length later. So take a good look at how I'm pleating this. All right, you pleat it like as if you pleat it as if you are pleating as if you're making a kissy pleat. Yes, you're going to pleat it as if you are making a kissy pleat. All right, just look at what I'm doing here so you understand what I'm saying. You can see that I pleated this last one backward, then I'll hold it down with my pin, then you pleat it again frontward, like forward. I'll be frontward. You pleat it upward like this. You pleat this other one downwards like this. You pleat it downward, then you pleat again upward. This is how you're going to continue doing it until you get to the other end. All right, you pleat upward, another one, you pleat backward, you pleat upward again, you pleat downward again. Can you see? So when you do this, it will give you that kissy pleat effect. Do you get? So I'll just go ahead and do this. All right, I'll go ahead and do this. You can also achieve this using your net. If you want to make use of net, you can also make use of net. If you want to make use of organza, you can make use of organza. Okay, so I'll just continue doing this. I don't want to fast forward this particular side, so you see how I'm pleating and doing everything. So when pleating, you don't place your organza straight. All right, you're going to follow the direction of your shape, like the direction of your waist and hip circumference. All right, so when you give it that half inch space exactly at the chalk side, that is, you give it half inch space. From there you understand what you are doing as the time you pleat. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to sew. All right, I sew from the middle part. After pleating, you sew from the middle part, you sew from the center side. Can you see where I sewed? So it will give you that ruffle effect at both sides. Okay, so this is the shape I have. Can you see? So if I want to join my piece now, it's going to be very easy for me. Right now, I'll go ahead and join my half length. Okay, I'll join the half length. I'll head over to my sewing machine, then join it with half an inch like this. Okay, so after joining, I'll have exactly something looking like this. So guys, after I was done joining, guys, you can see what I have here. Can you see? This is actually looking so beautiful. Like, it looks so beautiful. So this is the back. So I will go ahead and pin the opening for the back. That opening at the back there, I'll just go ahead and pin it down first. Okay, I want to do the shaping, so I'll have to pin it down. Pin it down like this. So after that, you're going to go ahead, place them the right side facing each other like this. All right, you place them the right side facing each other this way. Use your pin so you don't make any mistakes. So if you want to shape it now, you're going to flip the organza inside. Okay, you flip it inside so you'll be able to sew. Okay, flip it inside and then go ahead and take your measurement and sew. So guys, after taking the measurement and after sewing everything, guys, you can see how everything looks. Can you see how everything is looking? And this is the back view. Can you see? I'll just go ahead and remove the pin. Now I'm done. Can you see? The next thing to do now is the sleeve. So remember in my last tutorial, I told you the sleeve did not get to the other end. That is, the smaller piece did not get to the other end. As you can see that I'm trimming it off. All right, because it's an off shoulder, there is nothing wrong with it if you trim it off like that. If yours get to the other end, there's no problem, you do it like that. Mine didn't get to the other end, so I don't want to run into problems later, so that's why I trimmed it off. And this is nothing, it's not going to reduce your measurement. This is an off shoulder and it's a puff sleeve, a long puff sleeve for that matter. All right, so there's no problem. Right now, after placing the sleeve together like this, both the bigger and the smaller one, what I'll do now is to have it sorry, what I'll do now is to head over to the sewing machine and I'll go ahead and sew. Okay, you fold your sleeve upper part in a way your elastic can pass through, because it will have elastic at the upper part and on the down part as well. So guys, this is what I'm saying here. I've gone ahead to fold like half an inch is okay. After folding, I also fold the smaller piece, that is the down part of the smaller sleeve. And again, this is the end of the other sleeve, the bigger sleeve. I also fold it. Okay, you attach your elastic at the upper part, are you also going to attach it on the downside? All right, that was why I folded it in a way your elastic can pass through, all the elastic can pass through. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and fix the elastic. As you can see that I'm fixing it, I'm just inserting it inside. Okay, so after fixing, like after doing the upper part, you can see what I have here. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and stitch on the both side, okay, of the elastic. So after stitching, this is what I have here. So I will just continue with fixing of the down part. Okay, so I will insert the elastic for the down part. So after doing that, you can see what I have. You just do it in a normal way, do it in a way that is going to fit you in a very normal way. So after I was done with everything on this joint side, I'll come out by 1 inch on this joint side. Okay, this is how off she wants it to be. If you want your sleeve to be very very off, like if you want your sleeve very off, you can go ahead and subtract 2.5 inch on both sides. Okay, so you can go ahead and subtract 2.5 or even 3 inch on both sides. All right, so for her I subtracted just 1 inch. She don't want it that off, like just normal. Okay, that's why I subtracted the half and the 1 inch. So after that, I'll place my tape to measure what I have left from that side to the armhole, and I have 4 inch. Okay, so what I'll do here is to bring the sleeve. This is the sleeve. What I'll do here is just to place the sleeve, sorry, place the tape, then I'll mark 4 inch. After marking, I'll go ahead from there, I'll go ahead and sew to the other end of the sleeve. Okay, I'll use half an inch to sew this thread down. Okay, I'll do the same thing for the other one as well. So this is the two sleeve. You can see what I have here after I was done. So I'll just turn them the right side facing each other like this.
Hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make up.
After turning them to the right side, I'll bring the gown. This is it. So I'll just go ahead and attach the sleeves to the armhole. Okay, so you're going to place the armhole of the sleeve and the armhole of the dress. Okay, you place them very close to each other, like very very close to each other like this. Make sure they are very very close to each other. After that, go ahead and sew with half an inch. Okay, you sew with half an inch. After so you have something looking like this. Okay, so you do the same thing on the other side as well. So after I was done attaching the sleeve, you can see what I have here. You can see how the sleeve is looking, you can see how beautiful the sleeve is. All right, so this is how we achieve this sleeve, this stylish sleeve. This is how we achieve it. All right, so after I was done sewing everything and attaching everything, you can see what I have here. All right, so this is all for today's tutorial. When they bring it, I'll iron it out and give it to the owner. All right, so I've come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you love this video, kindly subscribe I'll see you in my next one. But before then, I want to explain something to you. You remember in the picture inspiration we are working with, there is band on the downside and there's also band on the waistline. All right. So this is gown actually, and that one is skirt and blouse. My client doesn't want any band on hers. All right. If you want any band on yours, you can go ahead and attach your band on your waistline, attach it at the down part as well. If you don't want to sew the skirt and blouse side, you go ahead and sew the gown. But when sewing, you can remove 2 inch from your half length and attach the band. That is, replace it with the band. Okay. Then on the downside of the gown, you can also do the same thing. All right. Thank you so much for watching and bye.